Hello, my friends. I'm Bee, and this is Bee's Intuition. And today we're gonna do a reading about. I feel like I should probably address the elephant in the room. I've taken a long time of a break. That's not proper grammar, but that's fine. I took a break because, as some of you may know, some of you may not know, that I am chronically ill. And my health took a downturn recently, unfortunately. And I was like super sad, to be honest, like that I wasn't able to do any readings for you guys because like I literally like this is like one of my like special outlets, and it pretty much I appreciate and love you guys so much. So I was like super bummed out that I wasn't able to do a reading for a while. But I am hoping that since today I feel good enough to do a reading, that I will be doing more in the future again, hopefully regularly again. So wish me luck. I was also thinking that on the days where I kind of can't get out of bed for the most part, I was thinking maybe I could. I started, maybe some of you don't know this, but I actually started doing my tarot readings on TikTok. And I have a TikTok, what's it called? Account, I guess. I want to call it a channel, but I don't know if that's, yeah, I think it's just TikTok account. And it's under the same name as I am here, Bee's Intuition. And so I think I might upload like non-face readings, readings of just the cards that come out on the days where I can't really like put myself together and I don't feel well enough to do like a whole thing like this. So if anybody is on TikTok, feel free to follow me there. I'll try and add a link so that you can be directed directly to my account rather than somebody that may have a similar sounding name or something. So it seems that TikTok has officially been banned in the US, and that ban will be taking effect next month. I did not know that at the time of recording this, so I think I will be uploading those shorter, faceless readings through YouTube Shorts instead. But yeah, so I feel like, because I really do love doing these readings. But there are days where I just can't really get out of bed because of my chronic illness, and I think that would be a good alternative. And it would be like shorter readings, wouldn't be as long as the ones that I do here on YouTube. But if you do like or appreciate my readings, you could always check out that TikTok channel, because I do want to go back on there and do that when I can, or when it's when it's like the, what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I feel like I'm over explaining myself. But anyways, so that's why I kind of took a break, is because my health kind of went kind of sucky. But I am back, and hopefully that's a good sign. And the other thing I was going to say, as a preface, since this is December, the month of December, and Yule is coming up, and because Yule is a very special time of year to me, I think that it would be kind of fun to kind of theme these readings that I do in December around themes that are related to Yule. And Yule has a lot to do with like coming out of darkness, coming back into a time of light, bringing that light back into your life, celebration, and there's pretty much a lot of ways you can kind of go about it. And rebirth, renewal is a part of Yule as well. And so I kind of want to incorporate those into like the themes of the readings that I do this month. Because I feel like that'd just be really fun, and maybe it could be like inspirational for y'all out there, if that's something you like. So today's theme is along the lines of that sort of rebirth, renewal theme of Yule. And the theme of this reading is going to be what things are you releasing before the new year? because this is definitely a time of releasing, especially as we go into the new year. And yeah, so I feel like that would be kind of like a fun place to start, is like, what are you releasing as you're going into the new year? And I will, yeah, I'll probably keep these Yule themed for the most part. Or I'll, like, you know, kind of use aspects of Yule themes. I don't know. I don't know if this makes any sense. Maybe I'll cut it out, but that's kind of the idea. So anyways, without further ado, let's just get right into it, okay? Okay, please and thank you, Spirit. What is the collective releasing before the new year? Please and thank you. Oh my goodness. These are coming out very enthusiastically, so maybe you have, like, actually given this a lot of thought. I like that. Yeah, because, like, the way that these came out, it makes me feel like you probably have been, and I guess that makes a lot of sense. As we, like, get towards the end of a year, we tend to think about, like, what happened that year, what things are we going to bring with us into the new year, and all that. So you could definitely be somebody out there that is or has been thinking about what you would like to release. So that's really cool. Okay, let me just show you what came out. So we have the Queen of Wands, the Hierophant, the Wheel of Fortune, a King of Cups, right? Yeah, King of Cups, and Page of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Let's just start to clarify, shall we? Starting with that Queen of Wands. Please and thank you, Spirit. What is going on with that Queen of Wands? Please and thank you. What is the collective releasing before the new year? Please and thank you. Okay, so a couple came out. Did any flip over side the deck? No. Okay. We have, to clarify that Queen of Wands, we have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Oh wait, the Four of Pentacles came out first. So the Four of Pentacles upright and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. And then at the bottom of the deck, Three of Swords. This is actually so interesting to me, because the Queen of Wands is a very confident person. And actually, I've never really noticed this before, but I actually really do love this, like, image, because the snake is, like, protecting her babies, like the eggs inside of her coil. And I feel like that actually is very sort of symbolic for, like, what it means to be in the Queen of Wands energy, because the Queen of Wands is very much a passionate fighter, sort of you know, fiery and very protective of, like, who is special to them. You know, that's very much the kind of personality of the Queen of Wands. So you may identify as somebody that is very protective of, like, who you care about, your family, your friends, etc., who is around you, maybe who is the most vulnerable. You like to protect those most vulnerable. Very beautiful energy. And then the Four of Pentacles, and then the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. I want to say that this is hitting me. The Four of Pentacles is kind of hitting me as, like, okay. I feel like this Four of Pentacles is hitting me as, like, holding tightly to maybe certain ideas or concepts that may keep you stuck. I feel like that's what you want to release really badly, because, like, it also feeds into this Eight of Pentacles in reverse, because the Eight of Pentacles upright is very much like kind of like a very productive energy. I honestly kind of see the Eight of Pentacles upright as you going after your passions, or feeling like a sense of inspiration or motivation to, like, put your energy and your work into something that, like, you really are passionate about, and it creates, like, financial stability or abundance in your life, security. But maybe there are certain like mindsets or ideas or things that, honestly, it feels almost like mindsets even potentially, where it's like you hold a little bit too tightly to certain, well, whatever it is, you hold a little bit too tightly to something, and as a result it may like steer you down a path of losing maybe your passion, or it may hold you back from like pursuing the things that you want to pursue. And I feel like you're seeing this pattern. It could even be like negative self-talk I'm getting. Like it's almost like yeah, like if you have a certain narrative about yourself that may not even be necessarily based on what you truly believe about yourself, but rather what other people have told you throughout your life. Um, like if people have told you who you are and who you're supposed to be, and you've kind of like internalized that, which, you know, we can't help but internalize those types of things, especially as we're growing up. And so it almost feels like maybe you want to shed those like mindsets that are restricting you, because that's really what the Four of Pentacles is hitting me as, is like this sense of restriction, but it's almost like you are restricting yourself. It almost feels like a self-imposed restriction, but it doesn't feel like it's conscious. I don't think that it's a conscious thing. I don't think you're like, I'm gonna, you know, restrict myself on purpose. I don't think that that is the case at all. I think it's a subconscious thing. It feels like something on a subconscious level may make you feel like you're kind of restricting yourself in some way. There's also maybe like holding a little bit too tightly onto a certain outcome. So maybe you want to release the sense of control over certain situations, which is, you know, much easier said than done. You know, a lot of things we want to have control over. And we often feel like it's unfair that we cannot control those situations, especially when they mean a lot to us. But I do get this great sense of awareness that you have, because I feel like this is the energy that you would like to embody in the new year. Being passionate, vibrant, you know, kind of being a boss in your energy, you know? And I feel like whatever this is, it could definitely be holding you back. But I do think it's subconscious. I don't think that it's like a conscious thing that you're doing. And yeah, maybe this is a pattern that you even realized reflecting on the year as it has gone by. Maybe you're reflecting and you're like, you know, I never pursued that project because I convinced myself that I wasn't good enough. Or, you know, I never explored this idea that I had and I really wanted to because my family member convinced me not to. You know, like there's things like that that I feel like maybe you're reflecting on this and you're like, that needs to go, because I'm not going to be able to step into my boss energy if I'm holding on to these mindsets or these subconscious narratives about me and what I'm capable of. And maybe releasing that will release a big blockage for you. If you've been finding yourself really having a hard time kind of like putting your energy into your work, or finding those things that you're passionate about to kind of feed your energy into, once you release this blockage, it could definitely make it a lot easier for you to put your energy into things. Maybe it will help you find more motivation to do these things, or inspiration as well. And I find it very interesting that the Three of Swords is at the bottom of the deck, because sometimes this hits me as like you being hurt by multiple people in your life. And I tend to think of it as like it can be like multiple areas of life even. Like maybe you have been told negative things about yourself by family members, and that's one sword. Maybe you've had friends in the past that have criticized you. That's another sword. Maybe you've had ex-partners that have tried to belittle you. That's the third sword. So I feel like that could be also what you're reflecting on, is like, wow, I have internalized what these people have told me throughout my life, and they were not telling the truth. They were lying. I am capable of so much more than they told me that I am capable of. And I feel like you really want to like, I feel like you're making this conscious decision to release that past pain, and especially the thoughts and opinions of other people that have negatively impacted you and have held you back from pursuing the things that you love. Yeah, because it's like you're seeing how much these people may have impacted you, and maybe you didn't even realize. Again, it could be like a subconscious thing where you're like, say you're going through a stressful time and all of a sudden you're starting to hear your ex-partner's voice inside your head saying, oh, you're too stupid, or you'll never get that accomplished, or who do you think you are? You know, like you could even be realizing like, oh wait, that narrative that is coming into my mind during these stressful parts of my life, or these more difficult parts of my life, that narrative is not my own narrative. That is a narrative that somebody else has projected onto me. And a lot of times those narratives that people like use against a person, you know, kind of telling them who they are, how they're never going to amount to anything, that is all based on their own insecurities. That is based on their own personal experiences, their own fears, their own insecurities. And it has very little to do with you. And I think maybe that's something that you're realizing. And so you're like, I need to release that, because like that could, yeah, it could be your consciousness kind of finally being like, yeah, if I don't release that, that's actually going to just hinder my progress. That's going to hold me back from pursuing the things that I'm passionate about, the things that I really want to pursue, and that give me the most enjoyment out of life. Yeah, and also like, there's just something about the heart that is really sticking out to me here. I feel like this could have been a really rough year for you in terms of like heartbreak, and that doesn't even have to be specifically romantic. Heartbreak can come in so many different forms, and relationships with others and all that stuff. It honestly is hitting me very much as like you realizing how much how do I word this? Like how worthy you truly are, and how people in your past did not reflect your true worthiness. And I feel like you're realizing like, wait, I deserve so much better. Then like maybe you're even realizing how pure your own heart is. Cause like, yeah, especially when you like look back on the past and you're like seeing things like, you know, for example, a toxic ex. You know, I gave them all of my love, attention, care, support, and they just gave me such negativity and betrayal and, you know, toxicity back. And it's almost like, why? Like, why? Honestly. Like, but it could even go a little bit deeper than that, where it's like, why did I think that that was my. Why did I think that that was on my worthiness level, you know? If I accept people into my life that are telling me all of these horrible things about myself, why do I keep them in my life? You know, it's not even necessarily like, why do I attract these people, but rather, why do I keep them in my life? Or why do I entertain them? Because it's like, sure, we can attract all sorts of different people, but I think that it really becomes clear when we realize that it's not just us simply attracting negative people. And I honestly, I don't know if I necessarily believe that, like, if you're in a lower vibration, you attract lower vibrational people. So it's, because I feel like that can kind of get on the end of victim blaming a little bit, because trauma really can cause you to be in a lower vibration, and that's of no fault of your own, right? So I feel like there's something here about, like, why did I accept those types of people in my life? What about those situations did I think that I was worthy of, you know, being told that I was stupid, or that I wasn't capable of doing things, or, you know, whatever. Those things that really hurt you and, you know, affected you. It could definitely be like you really, this could be like a side note too, that like in the new year, maybe you really want to work on like healing your heart, like doing things that feed your self-love, maybe practicing more self-care, which I definitely recommend, especially this time of year. It's very difficult for a lot of people. Okay. But yeah, this time of year is very difficult for many different people. So I think that self-care and anything that helps feed your self-love and, you know, feeds your heart is definitely worth investing in. And that could be something that you're realizing. Because it's almost like, I'm almost even getting this sense of like you making up for all of that past pain, you know? Yeah, like there's something about that. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think that's really what that's trying to say. Let's go into the Hierophant. Please and thank you, Spirit. Ooh, that one flew out. What is the collective releasing when it comes to the Hierophant? Please and thank you. Releasing, going into the new year. Please and thank you. Okay. The Hierophant clarified by Justice card, Ace of Cups, Queen of Cups, bottom of the deck, 10 of Wands. So I think that this 10 of Wands is very significant about these cards that came out. I feel like that's kind of giving us context here. I feel like, yeah, there's like something about healing your love or your heart. Or maybe the way that you love, the way that you accept love. Like maybe your standards of love. Like there's something here that you definitely want to like improve upon in the new year, it feels like. The Hierophant is giving me it's giving me this energy of like you becoming wise from experience. Like for some reason it's hitting me as like real life experience, not like learning knowledge. Like it's the knowledge that comes from experience, not from books. You know what I mean? And from your past experiences, I feel like you felt like a great sense of injustice when it comes to your love life. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be romantic, to be honest. It could be just anywhere, you know, like any relationship that shares love, family, friends, you know, etc. But I feel like this new year could definitely be bringing about a strong sense of justice for you. And it almost feels like it's, if that past experience that you've experienced and gained a lot of wisdom from has been really negative, I feel like there's something about it balancing out in the new year. And you know, the Ace of Cups sometimes strikes me as a self-love card. So you could definitely be feeding more so into your like self-love. Maybe looking up like fun ways to express your self-love or to, because like I'm thinking specifically of like Pinterest. Sometimes I love to like kind of make like a mood board on Pinterest of like sometimes there's like motivational quotes or you know, maybe like fun little activities that you can do for like self-care or something like that. And maybe you kind of like want to sort of do something like that where you're kind of like accumulating a bunch of like different ideas of like how to, heal your heart or show yourself that you love yourself, or kind of like embrace your beautiful heart and like feed it. It feels like there's something about feeding yourself, especially emotionally, especially in the heart space. I am actually, with that Queen of Cups, it's definitely hitting me as like, sometimes, how do I word this? Although somebody that is insecure can love others, I almost feel like there's a certain depth to the love that you give others when you love yourself. Like, it's almost like it's a different kind of love that you're able to give to others when you truly start to love and accept yourself. And for some reason, it's definitely hitting me as like you reflecting on your heart. I really do feel like this sense of you really appreciating yourself. Maybe something like happens to help you reflect on how you have given your heart in so many different ways, and maybe you realize that the people of the past were not worthy of your beautiful heart, because it really does feel like you're reflecting on this and you're like, I have this beautiful heart that is like, a heart of gold. It very much sticks out to me. And so why am I giving it away to like these people that just do not deserve it? These people that want to take advantage of that beautiful heart, the people that just want to take and not give anything back. I feel like you're doing like this very heavy reflection. I don't want to say heavy reflection in the way of like it's heavy like emotionally, but like just heavily, you're just very much intently kind of doing this sort of reflection about seeing your own worthiness, your own value, and being like, I can't believe I ever thought that I wasn't valuable. I can't believe that I ever thought that I wasn't worthy of love. And maybe you're realizing too that like if you did feel that way in the past of like not being worthy of love, maybe you're realizing that you only started to think like that because that was how other people were showing up for you. And based upon how other people were treating you, not necessarily how you truly feel about yourself, but rather how people attacked you, or mistreated you. And I feel like when you do all of this work, you're going to be coming into this time of like being quite secure within yourself, within your emotions, within your heart space. And I think it's going to attract some really good people because you're going to be in this beautiful vibration of love. With that 10 of Wands at the bottom of the deck, I feel like that's the part that you want to release, is the difficulty. Because I feel like, I'm getting like this strong sense of you being the type of person that just, really gives your all when it comes to the people that you love. And if that person that you love isn't worthy of you and is toxic and taking, sometimes it's like a bottomless pit that you're giving to. And you are drained of life pretty much at that point and not receiving anything back. Like I just see you putting in all the effort when it comes to like your past relationships, your like past like experiences when it comes to love. You just have carried so much burden that was unnecessary. I'm getting the message, the things we do in the name of love. Yeah, it feels like that. Like it feels like I'm also getting this energy of like maybe you had to, this is kind of sad. Maybe you felt like you almost needed to do all of this work, all of this effort when it came to love, because maybe you felt like you were not worthy of love. And so it's almost like you sort of had to prove it to yourself and prove it to others. Like, no, I am worthy of love. See, I can put in all this effort. I can give and give and give. See, that shows that I'm worthy of love. And it's like, that's not necessarily true, that you have to give and put in all of this effort and, go above and beyond, all the time to prove your worthiness of deserving a true love, Because, I think it's very important, because our society tells us the opposite in a lot of ways, that people need to earn human rights, that people need to earn certain things in life that should be inherent to being a human, And I believe that one of those is love, Like, I do believe that at our roots, just being a breathing human being on this earth makes you worthy of love, true love, pure love, the kind of love that is reciprocal, the kind of love that feeds into you just as much as you feed into that, or them, the other person. You're just so ready to shed that heaviness, that burden of the past when it comes to your love, your heart, the things that surround your love, your heart, your emotions. Yeah. I definitely, like, in going back to the Hierophant about, like, the wisdom that comes from experience, I feel like that is kind of, you're reflecting on that past experience and how you put in all of this effort, received little to nothing back. And you're like, I've been there, done that, I'm not going back again. I'm not going to do that again to myself, because I know what I'm worthy of. I know what what I'm worthy of, like what I deserve in these relationships. And I deserve so much better. And I feel like that's what you really want to release. The difficulty that surrounds relationships with others in that heart space. And I'm also feeling like when you release that feeling of having to fight for love and having to put everything on your back, like carry everything in the relationship and put in all of this effort and expect nothing in return, it's like I feel like when you release that, you could find that maybe like relationships and your love life tend to flow a little bit easier even. Maybe you start to attract those more reciprocal relationships when you release that need to prove yourself in love. Yeah. I like that. Let's go on to the Wheel of Fortune now. Please and thank you, Spirit. What is collective releasing going into the new year? They're coming out very dramatically today. Oh my. This is telling me quite the story. Okay, this is a lot, but I'm going to take it because I think it's telling me a story. Excuse me. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, this is way too much, but that's fine. It's telling me a story. We're going to see what the story has to say. So, clarifying that Wheel of Fortune, we have 9 of Pentacles, this direction. Sun card, this direction. 9 of Cups, this direction. 9 of Swords upright. And then we have like a bunch of other ones. Chariot. Knight of Cups. Queen of Swords. Page of Pentacles. Temperance. 2 of Cups, okay. The Hanged Man. The Fool. Bottom of the deck, we got 3 of Pentacles. So this is actually really quite beautiful, I think. I really, really, really love how these two came out like that. Because I feel like that's what your new year is going to actually be filled with. like you thriving and being really happy is kind of what I'm getting from that. Maybe that's even like what you're hoping for. Ooh, yeah. Maybe that's what you want to strive for in this new year, finding your true happiness, finding the ways in which you can support yourself, the ways that you can be more independent, the ways you can build your abundance, rather. Maybe even something about practicing more gratitude and like appreciating the little things, something about like even the little things you want to appreciate. It almost gives me the energy of like, especially this time of year when all of the plants are, you know, they look very dead and, you know, everything looks dried up and not very pretty. It's almost like kind of reflecting on like, oh, I wish I had appreciated those summer days a little bit more, you know, or I kind of wish that I enjoyed the foliage when it was here, you know, like it almost feels like you're maybe even making some sort of like, I don't know how I feel about New Year's resolutions necessarily, but you know, maybe you're just trying to set a sort of goal for the new year of like, I want to be very appreciative. I want to appreciate the smallest little things. Take time out to appreciate those small little things. Like maybe even take time to like smell the flowers literally. Maybe that's something that you want to do because it may make you very happy, you know? I think that, you know, sometimes I do that too. Like I try to like make that conscious decision to like remember to stop and smell the flowers, you know, when I'm walking by some flowers and I'm like curious how they smell. Like, you know, I feel like that could be something that you're just trying to like live for those little moments because they can actually add up and make you very happy. I know, like, I've never regretted stopping to smell a flower. I've never regretted it, and maybe you never have regretted doing the same thing either. And so, yeah, there's, like, something about, like, you finding your happiness, you finding, like, finding your purpose even. Like, you could even, yeah, maybe it's something about, like, you pursuing a purpose or an idea or something that will bring you a lot of abundance and happiness. And since this is clarifying the Wheel of Fortune, it kind of is hitting me as like the divine is planning this for you as well. So not only are you thinking about, you know, kind of creating this in the new year, I think that this is the divine saying like that's exactly what you're gonna get, you know? And that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that's a very bright, sunny, warm energy. I like that a lot. With the 9 of Cups coming out like this, I'm taking that as like maybe this has been, especially because it's followed by the 9 of Swords upright, I'm honestly getting that maybe you have been struggling recently or just within the last year reflecting on maybe your mental health or realizing that, you know, mindset's holding you back or certain concepts are proving to be blockages for you and blockages to your success. Because the 9 of Cups upright can definitely indicate like wish fulfillment. And with it coming out like this, it could be feeling like, you know, maybe you feel like your wish or the things that you want to manifest, the things you want to achieve, you could be feeling like it's like just out of reach or something. Like it feels almost like a slight frustration. Definitely like a feeling of like not feeling very content. And that could be recently or that could just be in general over the last year, something you've reflected on and sort of realized. The 9 of Swords is usually a very much like overthinking energy. I definitely take it as like a mental health card, you know, like when your mental health is acting up and you're having a lot of like negative thoughts or a lot of anxious, you know, nights, you know, like nights laying in bed awake and just thinking about all the things that could go wrong or that have gone wrong or that will go wrong, you know, like there's like a lot of overthinking energy that I feel like you really want to release, as well as that like feeling of being disappointed when it comes to maybe your manifestations or the things that you want in life. It honestly does feel almost like especially because we had the Sun card and the Nine of Pentacles coming out in this direction. I feel like, yeah, maybe you're realizing that you are your own worst enemy in certain ways, where it's like, you know, it's your mind that's kind of tricking you into thinking that you're so far away from your goal, when in reality, maybe you're much closer to that goal than you even realize. Maybe you've been, because like I think that that is a lot, like, how do I word that? Like there's, when it comes to our paths in life, and you know, our spiritually directed paths, you know, or the paths onto our the paths that we go on towards spiritual enlightenment. Where was I going with that? Sorry, brain fog moment. Oh, yes, I think that a lot of the times we don't really understand why things happen, and you know, why they happen the way that they do, what the purpose of them is. A lot of these things we don't really realize until we have hit that goal and we're looking back in hindsight. I feel like a lot of these types of things, when we're experiencing them in the like current moment, we can like think like, Spirit, why are you putting me through this? You know, what good could possibly come out of this horrible situation that I'm going through right now? And it's only when you like have an epiphany later on, or you reflect back on something that's happened and you see like, oh, if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't have met this person, or I wouldn't have been given this opportunity in the timing that I did. And so it's like, I think that that could be something that could be helpful to you to remind yourself, is that maybe it doesn't make sense right now, right here, right now in the present moment as you're experiencing it. But who knows, in the next year, you're probably going to look back and be like, I'm so glad that that happened, because it opened so many doors for me. Even though it felt like crap when I was going through it, it actually helped me. Because that's happened to me a few times in life, for sure, where I'm like going through something, I'm like, okay, Spirit, I really want to see the positive in this situation, but I cannot see it. Like, please help me see it, you know? And it's only when I have an epiphany, you know, that kind of idea, that light bulb moment go off, and I'm like, oh, that's why that happened. Or, oh, I see now, that's why I had to, well, for example, why I had to take a break from my YouTube tarot readings, you know? Like, it's only in hindsight that those things make sense. And I almost feel like that's by design almost. And I feel like Spirit kind of likes to surprise us like that, I feel. Even though it's frustrating as a human, living a human 3D experience. It's very frustrating. But yeah, you may be pleasantly surprised. I think that that could be something that's coming in the next year. You being pleasantly surprised about, because it really does feel like you're much closer to reaching a goal, or you're much closer to something than you believe you are. Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, there's something that I feel like maybe you're psyching yourself out a little bit. And I don't blame you, because like there's a lot of things that feed into that, that are not your fault, you know? Like, and I don't think you should blame yourself for being like, oh, why am I so negative? Like, negative thoughts, get out of there. I don't need you. Like, I shouldn't be thinking this, or, you know, whatever. I don't think you should beat yourself up at all about how you may be limiting yourself, because a lot of those things are out of our control. A lot of those things are influenced by things outside of us. And so I don't think it's fair to take it out on yourself just because you think that your mind is sort of holding you back, or your mindset is holding you back, or, you know, your beliefs are holding you back. I feel like this could definitely be something that is going to be much clearer in the future and in hindsight. I feel like that's when you're going to see that clarity of like, okay, so that's why I had to go through that difficult moment. Or, you know, that's why I had to experience that feeling of like not being close to my goal, and then being pleasantly surprised that I was much closer than I realized, you know? Because I do feel like Spirit gets a kick out of kind of surprising us with good things, especially when we least expect it. I think that's something that Spirit really enjoys doing. And when it comes to the Chariot, Knight of Cups, Queen of Swords, Page of Pentacles, so either you currently are very driven or you're going to be very driven in the new year, it feels like. I feel like, yeah, something about your eyes are on the prize here. Yeah, something is really inspiring you, motivating you. I feel like you're going to be putting your energy into something that fulfills you quite a lot, actually. And maybe you even feel like it's your purpose in life, or maybe it feels like it gives you a sense of purpose. I feel you being very selective when it comes to opportunities that come towards you or people, whether that be in love or in work or anything like that. I feel like you are being very selective. And I think that's very wise, and it's actually exactly where you're supposed to be, in that position of being selective. Maybe even reading between the lines in certain situations, or, you know, seeing the truth of any given situation. Because the Queen of Swords here, she's very wise and she sees the truth. She can see right through a person to see what their true intentions are. That could definitely be sort of an energy that you're going to be embodying, is like your intuition could actually be very powerful either during this time or in the new year. Could notice that, like, maybe you're getting like downloads randomly where it's like, I don't know why, but I feel like this person's lying to me. And maybe come to find out later on that person was lying to you. Like, it feels very special. I feel like that could be heightening for you, that sense of intuition, your connection to spirit. Like, it could be growing stronger. I'm getting something about like third eye chakra meditation music, like on YouTube, or maybe healing music, something that kind of either heals the chakra or cleanses or clears or helps strengthen that. Maybe that's something that you're kind of like working on or planning to work on, is strengthening your intuition. I feel like it's going to definitely serve you very well. With the Page of Pentacles, I feel like there's something new that you would like to grow, I feel. Or, actually, now that I see it like this too, well, this could mean a couple things. You may be sort of, I don't want to say necessarily that you're avoiding love. I mean, that could be true for some of you out there, but I feel like love may not be your main focus. I feel like you're much more focused on the things that are going to bring about maybe financial stability in general, security, abundance, those types of things. I feel like that's where you're going to be putting most of your energy into. And those are the things that you want to put your energy into in the new year. Because you see more potential there. And maybe there's also something about like a little bit more optimism or enthusiasm or something. Like you see more of a payoff pursuing a certain path here. I'm getting passion projects. So maybe there's like a passion project that you want to work at a little bit more, or you see like a lot of potential. Maybe it's at its baby stages right now, but you can see it growing into something that is quite beautiful and long lasting. Yeah, maybe like I'm getting something about stability and security. That could be like really big emphasis. There could be like a large emphasis on that in the new year. Like focusing on that more than anything, maybe. And then when it comes to the Temperance card, Two of Cups, Hanged Man, the Fool. Well, 3 of these 4 cards are Major Arcana, so this is some big stuff coming in here. And I really love that the Two of Cups came out because in the last part of the reading, we were talking about reciprocal love. And I feel like that could actually be what you're manifesting in the new year, is that reciprocal love that you deserve. And maybe you never have experienced before. Yeah, there's something about your intuition is like very strong here. Like, I don't know if you can see it because there's a glare because of my ring light, but the angel's third eye is like glowing, and it's very like showing a lot of intuition and divine enlightenment here. Something about your intuition is going to it's going to be becoming very strong. Maybe even specifically in love. Your intuition is like really giving you a lot of like downloads, and maybe you're seeing through people much easier, or maybe your intuition can even help guide you towards the people that are actually for you rather than the people that want to take advantage of you. There's a lot about healing. A lot of healing taking place for you. And you know, this is actually quite beautiful now that I'm seeing it like this, because it almost feels like you could be doing like some self-healing. Like, I mean, we were picking up on that earlier, where it's like you're kind of feeding into your self-love, you're feeding into your heart, you're healing your heart and stuff. It feels almost like this calm, solitary healing that you're doing. And it could even be divinely guided. Like, you could feel like spirit is guiding you to do that sort of work on your own. And then it's like when you do that, that could be when the right person comes along to give you that equal give and take, that reciprocal energy, that reciprocal love. So yeah, it's like, I think that healing and that self-love that you're going to be pouring into yourself is going to pay off in a lot of ways. Unexpected ways even. Again, the Hanged Man. Like, if you see, his head's glowing because of the enlightenment, the intuition, spiritual enlightenment. So it's like something about your spiritual intuition, your spiritual enlightenment, your intuition, divine downloads, that's going to be coming very strong and intense. It's being so emphasized to me in this part of the reading. Yeah. In the Hanged Man, it's like that spiritual enlightenment comes as a result of being in an I get my tongue tied sometimes trying to say things, from being in an uncomfortable situation. You start to see things from a different perspective. You become much more enlightened. So maybe you feel like this last year has kind of been that uncomfortable period where you're kind of like maybe stuck in a certain situation or circumstance that you're not very happy with. But it actually helps you see something much clearer. And this could be also referring to like what we were picking up on earlier. It's like things are much clearer in hindsight. Could be something along those lines where it's like when you're going through it, you're like, okay, what good can possibly come out of this crappy situation? But then it's like, you know, some time has passed, you look back and you're like, oh, that's why I had to do that, or that's why I had to go through that difficult situation. So it could be something about gaining wisdom through experiences again. And using that perspective shift or that new information that you gain through that circumstance for your benefit, for your growth. The Fool card. There could have even been some sort of like sense of fear around beginning again or having new beginnings, especially in love. You could have been like a little bit closed off to that, a little scared of that, which I don't blame you. But it feels like that's going to be shifting for you as well. If you have any hesitations when it comes to new beginnings, which these new beginnings can happen in all areas of life, it doesn't have to specifically be love, but it can be. But new opportunities in career or whatever, I feel like you're going to be much more open to new opportunities. The opportunities that Spirit is providing for you or life is providing for you, that start those doors that start to open for you, you know? I'm just going to take a sip of water. It almost even feels like maybe you going through these difficult situations, not understanding what they mean in the moment, and then in hindsight being able to see why they had to happen or why they had to happen in the way that they did, and like the doors that opened up to you because those things happened, maybe in the timing that they did. It almost feels like you have a renewed sense of trust in the divine as well. So it's like maybe you have some sort of moment like that where you do see like the good that came out of a crummy situation in the past. And in hindsight, you're like, oh yeah, like because that happened, this thing happened and it was awesome, you know? So through having that maybe epiphany or that realization, you start to trust Spirit much more. And so when those new opportunities arise and are offered to you, you're much more willing to open up to them and accept them and pursue them. Because it's like this sense of like being able to trust Spirit, like even in those moments of not knowing why they're happening, maybe you're realizing like, I may not know why this is happening right now, but I trust that Spirit has a purpose to this, or that this is happening for a reason, even if I don't see it right here, right now. Very much this wisdom and this trust in the divine that is going to be coming into your life, I feel. 3 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I do think that there is like a large emphasis on building stability and security in the new year. I honestly am getting with this 3 of Pentacles that you may be surprised that interactions with others or working with others, collaborating with others may be much more fruitful than you originally thought them to be. I feel like this sense of being like pleasantly surprised when it comes to collaborations with others, working with others, could actually bring about like I honestly feel, yeah, like there's something about like, yeah, you alone can build a lot of stability for yourself, and that's awesome. But it's almost like when you combine forces, you're gonna build even more stability. And this could even be like, and maybe not even specifically in terms of working or like work collaborations. I'm even getting like, even if you're focusing on your own stability and growth and security, like just having a supportive friend group around you even, or just having a supportive group or just having people to support you could help you achieve so much more. Maybe there's even like something about recognizing the connections that you have to people. Like really like recognizing and appreciating, like maybe you have a friend that's been with you through thick and thin and you're like, you know what? I'm going to take some time out to really appreciate that friend because they've been with me through it all, you know? So maybe it's even something about like reflecting on relationships that you have with others, like the positive relationships that you have with others. Yeah, honestly, yeah. Like the cape here with the polka dots, I've heard that the polka dots can represent um, kind of like needing to sort of loosen up and have fun and, you know, kind of embrace that more silly side of life, you know? And so I almost feel like there could be like a message from the divine here saying that embracing your connections with friends and taking the time out to have fun and to do fun things for yourself. Like, even if it's not specifically in that moment productive towards meeting a certain goal, taking the time out to have fun and separate yourself from working could benefit you in the long term and could actually, when you go back to trying to achieve those goals, you could be much more motivated, much more energetic because you did take that time out to have some fun with friends or whatever. So maybe, yeah, like it's like a message here potentially of like remembering to have fun at the end of the day and maybe not take things super seriously. Not to say that you shouldn't take everything serious, or like how am I going to word that? Like, not to say that you shouldn't take certain things seriously, because like, you know, there are things in life that we have to take seriously, but it's like remembering to take some time out to just be silly, to have a little goof, to have a little fun, because it's not going to hurt anyone, and in fact it might actually help you more than you realize, and it could even help you be more productive, more increase your abundance even more so. So in terms of what you're releasing, I feel like it is like, sometimes I say like a lot and it distracts me. Okay. In terms of your mindsets, maybe psyching yourself out, you kind of want to get rid of that overthinking or that feeling of like not being close enough to your goals, or overthinking a situation, or feeling like, oh, there's no good that can possibly come out of the situation. I feel like there is going to be a lot of releasing those mindsets that are not helpful, you know? And as I was picking up the deck here, the Six of Cups and the Magician popped out. So I'm going to include those here. You're manifesting some inner child healing, it feels like. There's something about being divinely protected as well. Your inner child being protected. Maybe if you are going to be manifesting a relationship in the new year, maybe this is a connection that is going to feed your inner child, protect your inner child. It's not going to hurt you or your inner child. Um, um, yeah, there's something about inner child healing here, I feel. And this could also be along the lines of, too, I was getting that message about like having, or like maybe needing to loosen up a little bit, have some fun. Maybe you're going to be embracing the things that make your inner child happy in the new year, because you realize that these types of things, when it comes to feeding yourself, feeding your inner child, feeding your own happiness, that they are not in vain. These happen and they make us happier, they make us more motivated, they inspire us. And so it's like, I feel like there's like this wisdom coming with like, there's like this wisdom coming with realizing that when I take the time to feed my inner child, when I take the time to have some fun, it helps me become more productive. It helps me become this powerful manifester that is capable of manifesting anything that I want. I don't know why, but I'm getting the message. It all starts at home. So maybe something about the home environment. Maybe you're doing some redecorating or something along those lines to help feed your inner child or something. Something that you're doing, maybe crafts in the home that help feed your inner child, something along those lines. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of growth for you, it feels like. A lot of beautiful growth and something about blossoming as well. Like you're going to be like blooming, blossoming. Like you're going to just be in a very beautiful energy, it feels. Okay. Oh, and as I'm picking up the cards again, the star card. Yeah, something about manifestations. You're going to be manifesting something big, I feel, in this new year, whether you realize this or not. This could also be what the divine is anticipating for you. Something big is going to happen for you in the new year, it feels like. I'm like mostly certain at this point how strongly the message is coming through. Very beautiful. Okay, so let's go on to the King of Cups. Please and thank you, Spirit. What is the collective releasing in the new year? When it comes to this King of Cups, please and thank you. Very good, thank you. Let's see. Oh, wow. Interesting. Clarifying that King of Cups, we have the 8 of Cups in the reverse, 7 of Wands upright, 7 of Pentacles, Hermit card. So I noticed that we had the 9 of Cups coming out with that 9 of Swords earlier. So that was 2 9s. So 999 or just 9s in general could be significant. And now we're having the 7 of Wands coming out with the 7 of Pentacles. So 777 or 7s in general could be significant. Could be like little signs from the universe to kind of reassure you that you're on the right path or something. With the 8 of Cups in the reverse, I might actually clarify that because I can't tell if that's your energy or somebody else's energy. Especially because it's clarifying that King of Cups. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think I will clarify that. But what I'm getting with the rest is if this is somebody that is returning, they want to show you that they would like to fight for something here. Like this is worth fighting for. Maybe this is somebody that didn't fight enough in the past and feels like they need to make it up to you now. With the 7 of Pentacles, maybe they didn't have enough patience in the past and now they want to come in and show you that they can be patient. Maybe this is like somebody that kind of likes to have things happen on their own terms. And maybe in the timing and in the way that they want it. And maybe they've realized that that is not like the winning strategy, or that's just not a healthy way to be. And so maybe they kind of want to show up as somebody that is more patient and kind of willing to go with the flow a little bit more rather than controlling a situation. The Hermit does suggest that this is somebody that has gone through some sort of like major self-reflection period, self-isolation, gaining a lot of wisdom through that period of time, changing their perspectives on things, changing perspectives on the things that they want for themselves, for their life, for their future. Maybe during this time of reflection, they realize that they fumbled something. And so they're like wanting to return in order to correct what went wrong in the past. I just don't know if you feel the same, because that 10 of Wands at the bottom of the deck here, this could have been a situation in which you felt overly burdened. This could have been a situation in which you felt like you were putting in all the effort and receiving little to nothing back. So, yeah, maybe you were like, I'm ready to release this person, but this person's like, I'm ready to fight for this. I can be patient. I'm wise now. I have this knowledge. Yeah, it feels like the two of you might be on different wavelengths, or just ways of thinking about this situation. Yeah, let's clarify that 8 of Cups. Please and thank you, Spirit. Can you clarify that 8 of Cups for us? Please and thank you. 8 of Cups in the reverse. Okay. Oh no. Okay, clarifying the 8 of Cups in the reverse, we have the Hierophant. Bottom of the deck, the High Priestess. Okay. Sometimes I do get the Hierophant and the High Priestess as like a... I kind of get it as a divine counterparts sort of thing sometimes, like a spiritually divine counterpart sort of thing. But as I put this deck down, the 3 of Swords started to peek out the bottom underneath that High Priestess. So I feel that you did not have a good experience with this person. And that's probably causing you to be very closed off to this person. The High Priestess is very mysterious, so I almost feel like, I don't even know, like maybe ghosting, or like something about like being unseen or something. Maybe you like stopped posting on social media or something, and this person wants to know what you're up to, and you're like maybe very hesitant about opening up about these types of things to them. I mean, the Hierophant could be indicating that this is somebody that sees you as like marriage material, or just like life partner material. Again, there could be certain wisdoms that they've gained through experience. So maybe through losing you, they've realized, you know, how important this connection truly is to them. I think I'm going to clarify that Hierophant. I kind of want to see what's under this High Priestess first, though. 5 of Swords. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you do not have good memories of this person. You feel like this person treated you unfairly, hurt you, maybe even got a kick out of hurting you. So I feel like you're going to be very closed off to this person. Even if this person thinks that you're their soulmate, I don't know if you feel the same, because it's like you do not have good memories of this person. This person hurt you, whether they intended to hurt you or not. Yeah, and with that 7 of Wands, they probably do want to make amends in some way, show you that they are sorry for the past and what happened between the two of you, but yeah, you may just be still kind of suspicious about it. And I don't blame you, especially if somebody has hurt you very badly. I feel like, yeah, this feels like something that you want to release, but this person wants to come back. It feels like you two are like on different wavelengths. It's just like, okay, we're not lining up here. We're not thinking the same thing. We're thinking the opposite. Yeah, I'm going to clarify that Hierophant. Please and thank you, Spirit. Can you clarify that Hierophant for us? Please and thank you. Boom, ba boom. Oh. See, that's what I'm saying. Okay, clarifying that Hierophant, we have the Emperor coming out this direction. Yeah, this person just isn't it for you. Like they have potential, but it feels like only potential. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's not even necessarily that like that potential is an illusion. I don't really necessarily see that. But maybe they hold themselves back. They hold themselves back from becoming as powerful as they are capable to become. You know, maybe they have self-limiting beliefs and certain mindsets that are restricting them from becoming the Emperor upright. You know, it feels like they're being held back, and maybe by them, like they're being held back by themselves, you know? Because it's like it feels like they're so close to being the right person. Something about that. It's like this could have been somebody that you actually did really care for in the past, and maybe you saw a lot of potential in them. Maybe you even fed that potential, thinking that like, oh my gosh, they're gonna go places, they're gonna achieve things, but then you just saw them maybe stagnating or not really using that potential fully. You could have even felt like frustrated even. I feel like this sense of like frustration even, because it's like you're so powerful, you're so filled with potential. You can be anybody you want. Like maybe that's how you saw this person, and maybe you even told this person that. But maybe they didn't believe in themselves. Maybe they had a low self-esteem. Maybe they had like those mindsets holding them back. Yeah, it just feels like potential to me. And with this Seven of Cups at the bottom of the deck, I feel like you have options in the new year. So it's like if this person comes back and they're just not it, and they're still just showing up as a potential rather than them embodying that power, I feel like you're just gonna be like, sorry buddy, but I'm busy. I got other things to do, bigger fish to fry. Also, yeah, like this kind of goes back to that like potential thing, that message I was getting, where it's like you may not know what you're getting with this person. Maybe this person's maybe even like slightly a loose cannon or slightly impulsive, or like maybe you just don't know maybe what this person's intentions are, or maybe you just don't know like what they have up their sleeve is what I'm getting. Like do they have any tricks up their sleeve? Like I don't know, you're like suspicious, it feels like, and maybe reasonably suspicious. And honestly, it feels like it's very reasonable for you to be suspicious of this person, even if they come in a correct way and in the right energy. It's like you're still not quite sure. And yeah, maybe it's simply that you've been there, done that, and you're ready to move on with your life. It could be something as simple as that, where it's like, yeah, maybe you have changed, maybe you are different, but I want new, you know? And it doesn't even have to be a bad thing, or a judgment against this person, but rather just like, I'm ready to move on with my life. And you just don't make the cut, kid, you know? I don't know. It's like maybe you even have like an idea for your future, and you're like, you just don't fit it, you know, to this person. I want to see what's underneath that Seven of Cups. 10 of Wands, yes, overburdened. So it's like you're thinking back to the past, and you're like, do I really want to open this door again, not knowing what I'm going to get? And more than likely, it's going to just turn back into the same old situation that I'm trying to release. Yeah, I feel like you are releasing this person, and maybe they just they're probably gonna try and, I'm getting the image of like you closing the door on somebody and then putting their foot in the way so that you can't close the door. Like, that's kind of what it feels like. It's like you're ready to close the door on this chapter, this person, this past that you have with this person, and this person's like, no, I'm not done yet. Yeah, I really don't think that you're willing to like entertain this. I think that you're very much willing to release this, and this person just may not like that. But phooey on them. Like I feel like they had their chance. Yeah, it feels like they had their chance and they fumbled it. So like, you know, you're ready to move on. It feels. I think you're ready for new. That's definitely the feeling I'm getting when it comes to this person. It's like, yeah, again, even if they did heal, even if they are showing up in a good energy, it's like I have explored a relationship with you or whatever, and I'm ready for a new experience. I'm ready for new people, Yeah. With the Page of Swords at the bottom of this deck, I feel like in terms of what you're releasing, I feel like you're releasing being in observation mode, if that makes any sense. Like, especially when it comes to like maybe pursuing ideas or passions of yours, maybe even like planning stage. Like maybe you're somebody that likes to plan everything super, like make super detailed plans and
So yeah, my phone died. But I was trying to say that the Page of Swords could be indicating that you're ready to release the things within you that make you want to pause or stay stuck. And you could be ready for more action in the new year. So that's the reading. I really hope that you enjoyed. And I hope that it resonated. If it resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you can become a part of the Hive Collective because my name is Bee. Bees live in hives, and you can become an honorary bee like me, and we can be a little bee family together. So thank you so much, and I appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.